There it is, I think. Can you confirm you can hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
All right, perfect. Just we will begin in 1 minute. Just it was at the wrong space. Sorry.
No worries.
All right, welcome everyone. It's Marcel here, Developer Relation Manager. This time we are showing here to talk with the Caduceus network team. And today we are having Giulio Pezzulli. He's the head of DApp development at Caduceus Network. And so we are going to be diving deeper into what Caduceus Network is working on to introduce themselves. And they are our most recent partners. And so we are going to be talking a little bit about that. So first of all, I would like to welcome Julio, and please introduce yourself.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, my name is Julio. I'm the head of DApp development at Caduceus Foundation. Caduceus Foundation the Caduceus blockchain is a layer one blockchain. It is EVM compatible, and we are very fast and very focused on the metaverse, GameFi, NFTs, and this vibrant ecosystem. So we are looking at creating a chain that can help you extend yourself in the digital world, but also do everything the layer one chain needs to do. We're very excited with our partnership with Bunzz, or Bunzz. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but yeah, I'm keen to learn more about this platform and discover maybe in depth all the things you guys are building as well. But yeah, that's Caduceus in a nutshell. We have various exciting things in our ecosystem going on. For example, we have, apart from the usual, new bridges, NFT bridges, DEXs, we also have our edge rendering system, which is being developed. Now, the edge rendering system, what it's trying to do is allow developers to deploy their Unity or Unreal 5 games onto the blockchain, where it will be rendered by miners, which have high GPU power, and players will be able to play it and pay with CMP tokens and play the game almost like a Google Stadia experience, where you don't need the hardware like a PlayStation 5, but you just need a fast internet connection, and you get video streamed down the pixels of the game that you're playing, but it's being done in a decentralized way. So that's our flagship product, which is under development and will be coming out at some point this year. We're undergoing testing at the moment, but that's Caduceus in a nutshell, and happy to be here.
Well, thank you very much, Julio, for that great walkthrough around the different features of Caduceus and plans. So yeah, we may say it's a network focused on metaverse development, right? And allowing different use cases around the metaverse and gaming and improving the user experience.
That's right. That's right. The metaverse landscape, or the GameFi landscape, is still up for grabs. There's a lot of big players in it, but everyone's very small still, relatively. And yeah, we get to see true dominance, and you're going to see it play out over a long time. I think we're going to see it's going to take many years before GameFi really takes off properly, and it's nice to be at the start, so we can build something slowly and correctly.
All right. And so regarding Caduceus cooperation with Bunzz, our partnership, what can we share by now?
Well, I think the most exciting thing that we want to share is that we're looking at creating an event that encompasses the Caduceus blockchain and the Bunzz network. As we know, we hopefully people are able to deploy their smart contracts using Bunzz onto the Caduceus blockchain, and we want to organize some kind of, not a hackathon, but like a nice long workshop style event where we give prizes, and so similar to a hackathon, but it enables users to play around with various different toolkits, let's say, and Bunzz is definitely one of them. And we want to work with Bunzz, with you guys as well, to deploy any kind of application.
All right. Yeah, we have found several synergies between Bunzz and Caduceus Network as an infrastructure platform that allows smart contract deployment. Now, any developer wanting to build on top of Caduceus Network and use Bunzz to deploy their smart contracts in modules, and just using a graphical user interface can deploy into Caduceus Network in 5 minutes. So leveraging that feature, I think it will be very helpful when it comes for developers when it comes to saving time in development, and so we can help in that process. So stay tuned for next semester as new hackathons or workshops are going to be announced, and yeah, both communities will go on growing.
That's great. And I just maybe for the audience, what, because you guys have a lot of templates, a lot of nice smart contract templates. What could you maybe outline the categories of them, or the favorites? What do you have?
Yeah, at the moment, we are not including the gaming space yet. We started focusing on DeFi and the NFT space, the different type of use cases around non-fungible tokens, and mostly recently we are launching many different DeFi modules around DEXs, Uniswap adapters, escrow, payment splitter, different use cases around DeFi, and also on security. But yeah, our pending one of our pending fields is the gaming and metaverse space. So I think by in the coming month, we're going to be including that as well.
Great, that's fantastic. And in terms of monitoring, because I saw you guys also do monitoring of the smart contracts, I would love to hear more about that. It's something I haven't been able to dig into too deeply so far.
Well, when it comes to monitoring, we have launched a basic stage of the feature. Now, every dApp that is deployed using Bunzz, once the front end start getting interaction, then the platform start retrieving data from users, and when it related to a number of functions that have been called, but at the moment is still in development. So by now, builders can get data about which functions have been called, how many times, and I'm not remember, but were 3 or 4 features. But it's still in development by Q3 or Q4 this year, it will surely be launched, the new version from monitoring feature.
That's great, because as a developer, I don't want to be writing and storing all the events that happen on my blockchain or on my smart contract. So I can just rely on the Bunzz portal to have a quick admin dashboard, or at least an analytics dashboard. So I'm really excited for that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Another question is, what differentiates Caduceus network from other blockchains? What are Caduceus' strengths compared, for example, to Ethereum or Solana?
Yeah, absolutely. So, in some sense, Caduceus is similar because we're EVM compatible with, Ethereum and all the other EVM blockchains. We're very different to Solana, that's for sure. But our USP, apart from the fact that we are fast and we are aiming for a high TPS, in fact, we're aiming for a 100K TPS through a sustained period of time. The main thing that does differentiate us is the edge rendering system. So we are geared around because our miners with some good juicy amount of hardware. So they'll have a CPU, or they have big CPUs. They'll have a lot of GPUs, and they also have a lot of storage available. So we're really making sure that miners have good hardware so they can be the backbone or be the support of all the, let's say, intensive rendering that is needed for rendering games. When you render games, you need this hardware, and you need to be able to have powerful GPUs, and that's why our edge rendering system will be able to scale because we have created the tokenomics, which allows miners to be rewarded for their hardware and rendering the graphics that need to be rendered for the players that need to play. So once we have this system set up, and we have a good, healthy miner ecosystem and a player ecosystem, then you can expand from that. You can go on beyond that. You can start to provide GPU as a service. You could provide storage as a service because the miners are there, the demand is there, or more importantly, the supply is there. So that's really what we're heading for. We're really going hard on having high miner specs, along with a healthy ecosystem, and aiming initially with GameFi and really nailing the metaverse world. Yeah.
All right, thanks. And yeah, and also the consensus mechanism is different, right? As Ethereum is using proof of stake, or Solana also proof of stake and proof of history, Caduceus is introducing the metagraph. Can you describe it a bit further?
Yes. So our consensus mechanism is a DAG based. It is a graph, but it is also proof of stake on top of that. So the graph is how the messages pass to each other, but then we still need to select miners that are the that get to who gets the reward, and then we do that by the proof of stake algorithm. So the more CMP tokens you have, and you commit to your node, well, then the more likely you are to mine the next block.
All right. Yeah, that's another innovation that will make the Web3 space to move forward in better performance. And so, as we're talking about all this technical stuff, as you mentioned, so did Caduceus build a specific virtual machine or a special architecture to solve these performance problems in the Web3 space?
So we are very modular. We want to be able to bring in different smart contract engines. So at the moment, you can write Solidity, and that Solidity code gets compiled and run, and that's what your smart contract runs. But in the future, we want to be able to accept WASM, and we want to be able to do ZK snarks. So we want to have multiple interfaces to be able to write smart contracts into the blockchain. But then with regards to our framework, we actually have used, or we piggybacked off the Cosmos framework, which allows blockchains to get a get-go, to get a head start with all the kind of boilerplate code. We've changed the consensus mechanism and we put our own one, which is the graph that we talked about. But the framework itself is Cosmos based, or at least it started with Cosmos. Now it's changed quite a bit.
All right, that's great. That's a great expansion to come soon. And so, before we move on with the question from our audience, can you share some of the biggest milestone or achievement or anything you want to share about the Caduceus work this recently?
Yeah, well, recently we released our bridge where you can easily, you can bridge over USDT, and that's just the start. So we built our own bridge because we want to control the deployment of tokens. So if you are a developer out there and you have a token, or maybe you don't even have a token yet, and you want to use Bunzz's platform to deploy it, well, come to us as well, and we can help you go cross-chain, or at least have a few more chains under your belt with a bridge solution already available. We can get a token up and running cross-chain in about an hour in terms of technicalities. Then obviously there's maybe like contracts and whatnot, but technically it's very easy for us. We actually leveraged the multi-chains N=v6 standard, which I did an AMA on last night, if people are interested. So if you're deploying tokens with Bunzz and you want to go cross-chain and you like Caduceus, then get in touch and we will help you deploy on Caduceus and multiple chains and really boost. And then you'll have a bridge from the get-go. We'll also add you to our bridge, which you can see at bridge.cmpcoin.io. That's one of the announcements, or at least one of the releases we did a few weeks ago. Another one is our NFT bridge, which we've partnered with XP Network. So if you want your NFTs to go cross-chain, or you want to work with Caduceus and we can do like a joint giveaway, let's say migrate your NFT to Caduceus, we're very keen with that. And the bridge can help you as the artist also get some more rewards, because you can get affiliate fees for everyone that bridges over. So definitely get in contact with us and we can maybe bootstrap your NFT onto our NFT marketplaces. That's super exciting. Then you can finally buy CMP with card. So if you're interested in getting investing in the CMP token and owning some, and I mean obviously you need to use it to deploy with Bunzz and whatnot, we have a website called buy.cmpcoin.io where you can basically buy with uTalk is our first solution. Hopefully we're bringing out swipe blocks soon, but they are similar in the sense that they will allow you to buy CMP directly with your card, so you don't have to worry about exchanges. You will have to KYC, but it should be pretty straightforward. Otherwise, you can always get CMP at exchanges, and that will be the best rate, right? That's be the cheapest fees. But if you don't want that, then go ahead and buy it directly. Those are our main announcements. We have a few coming in the pipeline, but I can't share those yet.
All right, thank you very much. That's a great milestone. It's easy to foresee an incredible growth coming soon, and yeah, it gets Caduceus Network a great environment for also developing dApps, and so Bunzz will continue to help in that process. So now we're going to move on to questions. We're having a lot of
questions. Yeah.
We're having 35 people, so I don't think we're going to be able to allow everyone, but we will start with some questions. Let me see. Frankie, do you have a question for Julio? And also to remind that Caduceus Network is offering 500 CMP tokens for the best 5 questions. So according to our possibilities of selecting, we will give you the space to make a. Otherwise, you can leave your questions in the comments or after the replay, and we all are going to. And Caduceus Network team is going to check out your question even after the event. So, Frankie, can you hear me?
Hello.
And
Hello, can you
make
hear me?
your question? Yes, we can hear you. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for bringing me up. Okay. So I just have two questions for Cassius. Okay. So my first question is, I just wanted to know, like, is there a way I can actually stake the Cassius token? Because I'm looking for a way to actually stake my Cassius token and actually hold it for a long time. So do you have this feature on Cassius?
Right, yes. So staking right now isn't available. That will come out later on, but we don't have a timeline for that. But you're right. Right now, you can't stake. There might be other stake pools that provide you a way to stake. So, for example, you might not be staking for consensus, but there might be just a prize pool that you can stake your CMP and get rewards from it. So you might find other ways to get your interest on your CMP tokens. So definitely keep an eye out.
Okay. So my second question is, I just wanted to know, currently, can I actually lend my CMP?
I don't think there's any lending protocols available at the moment with CMP. Right
Okay.
now, yeah, not sure. Don't think so.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I think we have a question now from Rick. Rick, go ahead, please.
Hello. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So my question is, can you tell me more about your team behind the project, and can you tell me about the experience before coming together to create this project?
Yeah, of course. Our team is very multidisciplinary. We have two or three regions. There's a UK team, and there's a tech team here, and that's the team I'm part of. Personally, I worked at a few cryptocurrency companies. One was called Trustology, which then got acquired by Bitpanda. Another one was called Circle, so I worked for USDC stablecoin. Then we have the consensus team, so the team working on the blockchain. They're based in Singapore and in China, so they're very strong. And in fact, the head of consensus used to work for a gaming company that had many, I think hundreds of thousands, if not million players online at the same time. So he had to deal with a lot of networking and a lot of distributed systems to have and service all these customers at the same time. So we understand the gaming space, or what it takes to run a huge gaming server, like global gaming server, which is exactly why we're tackling this problem of decentralized edge rendering, and we're very excited for it. Those are the two genres of teams. And the experience varies. Then we have business development in the UK, business development in Asia, and whatnot.
Okay. Thanks a lot for the answer.
You're welcome.
Okay, so now we have Rosie.
Hello.
Hello, yeah, go ahead with your question, please.
Okay, so my question is, can you discuss the role of CFP tokens within your ecosystem and how user can benefit from holding your token?
Yeah, so the CMP token within the ecosystem. CMP is primarily used for paying gas, just like Ethereum is used for paying gas. You need that CMP token. Then you also have the fact that, miners need to stake the CMP token in order to mine, and players or developers, and we're still figuring out the full tokenomics for the edge rendering system, but the idea behind it is that developers and players will need to use the CMP token, or at least that with maybe other tokens, in order to play the game or buy the game or upload the game. So the CMP token will be involved in the edge rendering system. But primarily it is also it is used for paying gas, like all EVM blockchains.
Okay, thank you. So can I ask one more question?
Sure.
Okay.
Can I ask, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so partnership is most important fact in every project. So who is your partner and what's benefit you get from this relationship?
Are you talking about this partnership with Bunzz, or which partners we have in general?
This partnership, sir.
You're asking what this partnership entails, what kind of collaboration we're going to do?
I'm just asking about your partnership, sir.
Yeah, so the partnership with Bunzz is so that developers all across the Caduceus ecosystem can deploy their smart contracts really effectively onto our platform. You know, Bunzz is a no-code solution for smart contracts, which is phenomenal to see, and they're providing a lot of nice more bolt-on features, which we're really excited about, like the monitoring or the SDK. And the plan, what's also great is that if you're a developer and you've deployed on Bunzz in other ecosystems, you can now deploy that same smart contract on Caduceus, and we can help you go cross-chain because we have a bridging solution. So if you're a developer listening and you have contracts on Polygon and you want to get involved in the Caduceus ecosystem, which is growing, then get in contact. We can deploy the same smart contracts and then bridge your token as well.
Okay, thank you. Got it. Thanks for your information.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you. So we have a question from Ivory.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much for bringing me up to ask my question. It's actually been an informative AMA session, I must say. And I believe Caduceus ecosystem is really solid and wonderful. So my first question is, what are the requirements for, let's say, a developer that wants to develop on Caduceus ecosystem? And my second question is, while this AMA is going on, I actually visited your website, and under the scalability, I noticed that Caduceus transaction speed ranges from 3,000 to 100,000 TPS, right? So my question is, any plans on increasing the transaction speed in the near future? Thank you.
Right. Sure. So first question, how do you get involved in the Caduceus, or how do you develop on the Caduceus ecosystem? Well, Bunzz is the solution for that, that's for sure. Otherwise, you'll need to use the same tools they use for Ethereum. So, there's a lot of courses, a lot of YouTube videos you can go out and learn, but pretty much you're learning Solidity. Our favorite stack would be to deploy with something like Hardhat, or at least have your deployment framework with Hardhat.js or Hardhat TypeScript, which will help you manage, test your smart contracts. If you don't want to write them, then use Bunzz. But you can, you can actually check all of the Caduceus ecosystem docs on docs.caduceus.foundation. So you can go to there, and there's a few guides on connecting with MetaMask, getting testnet tokens, bridging, wrapping your CMP, creating your first NFT, creating your first ERC20. We have a section on Bunzz, at least an introduction on Bunzz. So definitely check that out for more information and getting started with Caduceus. Your later question was, are we looking at increasing TPS? More than 100,000? I don't think we need that. Right now, the applications that need more than 100K TPS just don't exist. So it's not a concern for us. If we ever get to that point, that'd be great. If our network is so full that we have hundreds of thousands of transactions a second, then we'll figure it out. But at the moment, that's plenty of speed.
All right, thank you so much. But before I go, please, I would like to know how many tokens, Caduceus token, are currently in circulation.
I think it's 1 billion. Yes, it's 1 billion. Oh, in circulation.
In circulation, yes.
I'm not sure. I don't know that number off the top of my head.
All right. I'll do my own research. Thank you.
Okay, no worries. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Gregory. Then we have a question from Slayer.
Okay, so my question is like, if any developer wants to build their project on Caduceus, do you support them financially? Like, do you have any incentive program for developer?
Yeah, great question. So we do run an incubator or a grant scheme called Matter. You can find that out at matter.io. Matter spelled M4TTER.io. But that is currently paused for now, as we had a grant round, and we will start that up again in the future. So maybe keep looking on our Twitter channels for any announcements of the grant program. If you want actual funding with investors and you have a pitch deck and you just need more than just a grant, then feel free, if you think your idea is solid and you've got a good team, then feel free to send it over anyway. And you can send it either to the Matter team at the email or the maybe Caduceus Foundation team, and someone will take a look at it.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
All right. Then we can move on with Acid.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So I have two questions actually. My first question is, since Caduceus is basically a blockchain dedicated for Metaverse development, I don't know, maybe do you have future plans on maybe expanding on other field? And my second question, let's say for an investor, considering the Caduceus token total supply of 1 billion, what are some of the sustainability plans for the token, to ensure investors hold the token for the long term?
Yes, so the first question, okay, I forgot the first question.
Yeah, can you repeat your first question, because I also couldn't hear it.
Okay, my first question, considering Caduceus a blockchain dedicated basically for Metaverse development, so are there any like future plans on expanding to other fields apart from Metaverse development projects?
So yeah, are we looking at expanding away from the metaverse? I mean, look, Caduceus is a layer 1 blockchain and it's multi-purpose. So you can build what you want with it. You can build DeFi, you can build any kind of insurance fi, anything you want. So it's up to the community. What we, the developers of Caduceus, are focusing on, at least trying to build on top of, is our edge rendering metaverse dedicated system. So that's what we focus on now. In the future, we don't have any grand roadmap yet. We're very focused on the metaverse part because it's a pretty big part already. That will take us a good amount of time. Then your second question, what was that again?
Okay, considering the total 1 billion supply of the Caduceus So, what are some of the sustainability plans for investors that want to hold for long term?
Yes. So, regarding your CMP token, again, this is all about how useful is the network, how much value does the blockchain bring, how many users will use it, and we believe that with our edge rendering platform, it's going to have a vibrant GameFi ecosystem. That's developers, deploying a lot of games. That's users playing a lot of games. That will bring a lot of utility to the CMP token, which should, help for the investors. But remember, the price of CMP is very variable, and it doesn't necessarily reflect the usage. We live in a very speculative market. But in general, the more it's used, the more it's wanted, the more demand there is.
Okay, thank you for your question. We're going to have the last two questions because we're getting closer to an hour now. So we can go on with Mr. India.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So my question is, I have two questions. My first question is, most of the project now moving to use artificial intelligence. So do you have any plan to use AI on your project in future? And second one, what is your strongest advantage that you think will make your team leading the market?
Yeah, great. Good question. So with the AI, I'm sure we've all seen the latest developments. We have an interesting token launching on our chain called, I think it's called Chain GPT, which we're excited about. But we also have an integration that actually has a video tutorial on how it works between a system called OpenAI and AirNodes. So I think that's the API 3 protocol, which allows users or dApp developers to build a smart contract which has access to AI functions. So imagine you want to talk to ChatGPT through your smart contract. You can do that through OpenAI and the Caduceus and OpenAI integration that we've done. So definitely do check that out. It should be on some tutorial somewhere.
All right. So we're going to go on with the final question before wrapping up. Surya.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, you can ask your question.
Okay. So I have two questions for Caduceus. First question is, as you know that trust is very important in any kind of business, not only in crypto world. What makes investor, customer and user feel safe when working with any project? So I would like to know that how will you get the trust of many users that have negative thoughts about blockchain and DeFi?
Yes, that's a good question. How do you onboard Web2 users or regular users? And the answer is that you have to build a product that they don't know they're using crypto, right? That's the only way. And that's what for example, the edge rendering system, you have to pay with CMP, but that can be abstracted away. You could have a pay with card, which then buys CMP and pays with CMP for you, but the user just logs on, buys a subscription, is getting a video stream down and plays the game. He doesn't know they don't know they're using Caduceus, but under the hood, that's what's happening. And I think that's the real promise of crypto. It's going to be so good that you won't know you're using it.
Okay, right. So my second question is, as you know that adoption is very important factor that all blockchain projects should focus to be more attentive in the investor eyes. So what have you done and what plans do you have to achieve adoption to increase the number of users to use Caduceus in future?
Yeah, adoption is a slow turning wheel. And the way we do it is by bringing on more partners like Bunzz, giving developers the tools they need, writing better documentation, writing guides, bringing out features. So it's all of this stuff. And we have announced a few partners. Well, we can look at our Twitter and see all the partners we've announced, and we will be continuing to do so going forward. And it's just a slow progress. But yes, that's our plan. It's the only way to do it, and then we're excited for it.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate your hard work, and I am with you for all the time in future. Thank you so much for the nice good.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And thank you very much, everyone. We soon are going to wrap up this conversation. All the questions that you have written so far in the comments are going to be replied, and all the questions that you leave even after the space is closed are going to be answered, and all your questions are going to participate. We're going to select 5 questions, and each of you are going to be rewarded with the 100 CMP tokens by Caduceus. So I think by Monday or so we will announce the 5 questions. But so Caduceus team and ourselves are going to be following up the comment section after this event. So if you have further questions, leave in the comment section. We're going to be sharing also links to Caduceus docs if you want to learn more about them in further details. And so from our side, to thank a lot to Julio for coming here to share about Caduceus environment and ecosystem. And so we will go on working together to grow both communities and the development experience. And so we hope to see all of you soon in another conversation with our great partners. So thank you, Julio.
Thank you so much
Thank you,
for giving us.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you.
Thank you guys for the information you have provided today, and thanks for making our day good for Caduceus. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks everyone for showing up.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone, and we keep in touch. Thank you, Julio and Vivian and all the team in Caduceus.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.